Well, after a trip to the home of British Motorsport last week for the opening round, we're back for round two of the 150 Motorsport Ginetta Supercup Championship, live from the virtual recreation of Donington Park Grand Prix. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the JP Broadcasting Network. You join myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and James Parfitt, who will be your commentary team all the way through this 6-week adventure, as we're coming towards the dying throes of the qualifying session here, ahead of a 50-minute race, which does require for each of the competitors to have a mandatory stop. Before we get into very shortly what will happen after qualifying, Chris McIntosh took the win amidst drama, with a multitude of drivers getting DNF'd for apparently, according to the server, not having taken their mandatory pit stop. Mitch Marie is second in the standings on 22. Then it's Ryan Turner on 19, rounding out the top three. Sam Hayes is currently fourth, ahead of, I think, I'm trying to remember who it was. Not too sure who is currently fifth at the moment, but they're currently on 13 points. Maurizio Siglio, currently sixth. Miku M, seventh, with Alexander Karavev and Jake Hewlett rounding out the top 10 in the championship standings. But welcome back into the booth again, my good old partner in crime, Mr. James Parfitt. How are you keeping?
I'm all right, mate. Not bad at all. There's Felipe Ruski in fifth place there, sir. Just give you a little remember.
Philip Rusick, thank you very much for that.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Not bad at all. Jake Hewlett's in YouTube chat. Jake, where you at? Why are you not here this evening? What's going on? Taking a night off? Giving everybody a chance? You know, going to wait a couple of rounds and then come back and win the rest? And then, well, you know, take the positions away. But no, I think this track should be a good combo. I think I prefer this car track combo to some of the ones that we've got coming up. You know, I don't know if I love these cars at Spa. I think it could be a very, 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 very long lap.
Yeah, you're probably talking the best part of nearly between 2 minute 40, 3 minutes, whereas here they've been running in the sub. Our quickest laps have been low 131s, so we've had a high 130.9, and that was courtesy of Jack London, who's put it on pole for this second round of the season. Andrea Ruggi on a 131.286 will line up on the second position on the front row of the grid. Justin Kirk and Alexander Karavayev round out the top two rows, with Jacek Hyman and Mitch Marie rounding out row three. Chris McIntosh, the points leader, starts from seventh, ahead of Maurizio Siglio. Will Butsy, who now makes his debut in the season, obviously was indisposed last week. And Jake saying, "I'm on the sofa having dinner at this time for once."
Nice. I've just had mine.
Nice.
What are you having, Jake? Anything good? What
Fish
we got?
chips, mushy peas.
Yeah, that might be a thing. To be fair, I had sausage and mash with gravy and peas.
Oh, I had sausage and mash last night, and I had some pork steaks and some coleslaw and bits and pieces like that. But 50 minutes. Circuit is just under 2.5 miles. It's 12 turns. This current layout's been used since 1986. Donington Park was first opened back in 1931, then was reopened back in 1977. But yeah, I mean, this is a real good track for these G55 GT4s to run around on. So it could provide with plenty of dramas. You've got a lot of elevation changes, and the roller coaster starts from when the red lights go out, and then we head into Redgate and Hollywood into the Craner curves. Chicken and chorizo pie with green beans. Very posh, says Jake in the chat.
His chef obviously cooked it for him.
Yeah, his master chef in the background.
Got Gordon Ramsay in the kitchen, isn't he? In his castle in North Wales. I don't know if that's true. I'm just making it up as I go along. It could well, but I think it could be true. He sounds posh, doesn't he, Jake? You know.
Well, he could be. You just don't know. The accent might not be a complete giveaway to where the person lives, ladies and gentlemen. Sam Hayes and Tom Wolfe. It's one F at the end of that Wolfe there, around out row 6. Then we got Miku M and Jackson Greer, who round out the top 14 rows. And the lights are on. Held for a little bit. And the lights are out. We're underway. And we run on board with Justin Kirk, who gets swamped by 3 cars going past in the run into Redgate. So Jack London leads the way ahead of Andrea Ruggi, as Chris McIntosh has had a bit of a coming together with quite a few cars, including Maurizio Siglio as well. So at the minute, into old hairpin for the first time. And yeah, Jack London starting to get away as they go up the hill through Starkey's Bridge and into Schwantz before they run up to McLean's.
Yeah, it was 3 attempts between some of these guys in qualifying. I do expect this. Whoa!
That was a spill.
Mitch Murray, yeah. Mitch Murray, unfortunately, off the side there. Coming towards us now. Unfortunately, off the side of the circuit. But Jack London, 1.2, 1.3 out front already. Now, this doesn't really justify the qualifying pace of all these guys. There was they were nice and tight beforehand. And I think, you know, this might settle a bit down. This might be first lap nerves. Jack's going to escape and then he might start coming back. But I think overall, it could be quite interesting as Hyman is going around the outside of Ruggi.
Yep, as they head through the exit of the Melbourne hairpin, heading into the left-hand hairpin that brings us onto the start-finish straight into Goddard's, and Ruggi dives to the outside. Hyman keeps it pinned to the apex and gets the power down nice and early, but has a bit of a snap to the right-hand side. And, well, there we see one of the cars coming out of the pit lane. I think that was Robson in the 16th place car. And
Ruggi just got that
wrong. Andrea Ruggi's got Racing with Creativity, and then Jessica Hyman has got See You Later underneath the slight lip rear wing that the cars have got over the rear tail lights as we run on board with Hyman heading through into the old hairpin.
Whoa.
And then, now, who was that went around? And the cat has been put amongst the pigeons. Oh, Justin Kirk just about got away with it. Philip Rusek has got Robert Kubica's boat race on his doors. And I think it might have been Romeo that came out of the pit lane. And then, yeah, just all hell just broke loose because there was a slower car. That caused a bit of a spanner in the works. Jake saying, MasterChef Alicia, North Wales. Alicia's got a YouTube chat. Shame he doesn't pay me.
Oh, Caravea going up the inside, trying to go. Whoa, Butsy contacting for his chicane. Now they're back. Whoa, I think Butsy's having severe issues there.
That's a bit more than Mr. Netcode. As
He's still
Butsby,
going.
Yeah, he's still going, but it's this is like literally you have some moments where some people are just tracking true, and then others like let's just say on the diagonal slant that it looks like is what we're seeing here. But Jack London has a lead of about 4 seconds from Andrea Ruggi. Mitch Murray in third. Jessica Hyman, Sam Hayes ran out the top 5. Butsby 6th ahead of Kirk. McIntosh 8th. Wolf and Rusek round out the top 10, and well, we've had a lot more calamity in this first 3.5 minutes than I thought we would, James. But at least the good thing is the battles are close.
Yeah, they are at the moment, but I do wonder how they're going to go. Hyman and Hayes side by side in through the right hand, or in through McLean's. Now is that run up in, well, actually into Coppice now through the double right-hander. Sam Hayes, Hyman now in behind him. Who's going to come out on top here? It looks like Hayes has managed to come up on top. Wolf and Siglio were side by side. Wolf's got off the side of the circuit. Siglio's gone through. And Rusik's trying to go through over Siglio at the same time here.
Yeah, they were wheel to wheel coming out of the double right at Coppice, and now down Starkey Straight into the Foggy S's, named after legendary motorbike rider Carl Fogarty. And then, well, Rusek manages to get through. Siglio, I think, just got a bit of a slowdown. He's got Tom Wolfe not too far behind in the Plumbase liveried number 32 car. But only just 5 minutes in, and Jack London is taking a leaf out of Jake Hewlett's book. Big time, you know, just pulling a little bit of a nice little gap, going up a 10th per sector, whereas Wolf trying to get himself into the top 10 as he comes out of Goddard's, and then they accelerate up the gearbox. And then this is one of the nicest complexes I love here, because you've got this undulation downhill. It's like a
More
bobsleigh
contact.
track. And yeah, that was Butsy off at Old Hairpin. And he's lost the back end. He nearly got collected at the same time on the run up towards Starkeys.
Wow. There you go. We've lost Jackson Greer. Apparently everything's crashed on him. So I know about technical issues. Unfortunately for Jackson, he has had moments. Siglio swap places with Rusek. Wolf is in here as well. Caravay is trying to get through over Miku, who's back fighting on the racetrack at this moment in time. And these guys having a nice little tidy battle and a good old scrap towards the back end of the field, mind you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we found that you could lose a lot of time last time out at Silverstone going around the full GP circuit. The same can be said here at Donington Park, but you've got to be very, very careful how you go through certain complexes, especially the Fogarty S's. I mean, you can nigh on straight line them, but you've got to use a little bit of steering angle to carry that momentum through and not get yourself a track cut. And there is Karavayev trying to close in to Miku, just up ahead. And then we've got Robson at the back end of the field. So 14 cars still running. And what's more, yeah, I mean, if Karavayev gets a really good run going in through to Redgate very shortly and then down through Hollywood and into the infamous Craner curves, where in the old Toka side of things there have been plenty of ta-ta-tas, as you would say, over the years.
Yeah. Probably watched most of them as a kid as well, to be fair. He's trying to go up the inside here. Caravea at the moment. That is Wolf in front of us. Side-by-side action. Wolf's got it all wrong. Into Caravea he goes. Caravea's not going to stop that. You are going round, my dear little chicken. And unfortunately for Caravea, he has gone round. Kirk and McIntosh are having a nice little battle further back as well. So nice little bit of action taking place. I think Alicia should ask for a pay rise.
Yes. Who's that short-cutting?
Hayes.
Oh, that was Hayes, who currently coming into this round was fourth in the championship standings. Dive bomb through into Melbourne by Kirk on Heyman. McIntosh is definitely getting his elbows out there as well. Butsy's... How far is Butsy away from this? 11 seconds. So if they keep on battling, and McIntosh has got the high beams on, as if to say, right, out me way, sunshine.
Yeah, he's a bit bright in the back there, isn't he, old McIntosh at the moment? No. He's trying to put off Hayes. He's going to look up the inside. He's going to go to our right-hand side now. We've opened it up. We've given him an option. He's not going to take it, though, on the way out of Redgate. Now it's up, down through Hollywood, and then in through Craner Curves and in into the best part of the circuit, whizzing through Old Hairpin. If you've never driven this circuit, whether it be in sim or in real life, you should have a go. Because I'll tell you what, when this goes right, it goes right. And at the moment for Hayes, he managed to go right. Hyman trying to come around the outside here, Alex. Is he going to be able to make it through?
That's going to be nip and tuck, but Hayes gets through on him. Now into McLean's. And Hayes has slightly left the door open for Heyman to try and get through. Jake's just gone, think some stabilisers may be in order. Looks slippery out there. Well, I would probably imagine that might be the case if they're not going around spinning like we've seen with the likes of Karavayev et al. But yeah, this is a great little battle. McIntosh alongside Heyman on the run through into the chicane. And McIntosh gets through for 6th place. This is the run down to Melbourne, and now he's going to try and see if he can go for a late dive on Hayes. Well, he wasn't far enough alongside, and Hayes nearly opened the door because he ran deep into Melbourne hairpin. So not much to separate this quartet at the moment as they go through into Goddard's, but Jack London now has a lead of nearly 8.9 seconds over Andrea Ruggi, with Mitch Marie rounding out the top 3 as we're fast approaching 1/5 of the timer counting down. Of course, these drivers do have to serve a mandatory pit stop in this race, and it will be picked up by the server. Otherwise, they will be excluded from the session and effectively be classed as a DNF on the spot. Hayes, however, is coming under big pressure, going down Craners in towards Old Hairpin.
He's got it wrong.
McIntosh went to the outside. He's touched the grass, but what? How did you hold on to that, Chris McIntosh?
He didn't.
No, he lost it. And then Hayes went bang straight into the back of him and went, oh, well, I can't do anything because you just spun in front of me.
Yeah, he kind of just unfortunately lost the back end. He was never going to hold it. The moment he went in for the old hairpin, he was already loose trying to come around the outside. The problem is he hit the grass, and as he hit the grass, I just went, no, not happening. And unfortunately, he went round, and then Hayes just come around the corner right beside him or behind him and just give him a little gentle push. But at the moment, Hyman's on this outside line. He's trying to get round Hayes. Not going to work, dude. If Hayes goes in deep, which is what he did do, but he locked up and got it wrong. Hyman made it through. Great job from Hyman there. I'll tell you what, he got the door left open, though, because Hayes locked up and went in deep.
Yeah, that was a big old lock-up. I mean, the front tyres were screaming in agony when he applied the anchors and went, oh, he's right up my rear trumpet, and I don't know if I'm going to stop it in time. And that's exactly what happened. So Heyman makes his way up to now round out the top 5, but he's about 33 seconds. He dives into pit lane because the pit window opens after the first 10 minutes and shuts with 10 minutes to spare. So Jessica Hyman opting to go for the early pit stop and get it out of the way, which actually isn't too bad of a... It's actually quite a shrewd strategy to do. And that's a difficult couple of words beginning with an S to work out with when you're trying to say them correctly, Alex.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with this now. They have all been warned. Okay, to save the drama of what we had last time out last week, they have all been warned. You have to change tyres and you have to put in a litre of fuel for the server to register that you've done a pit stop. Now, if you haven't watched last week, we lost 4 people after the pit window closed, DNF straight away. Now, regardless if they've stopped in the box and then carried on, they didn't do anything. They need to do something to the car. And at the moment, they've been told they have to change tyres and they have to put in a litre of fuel. That should then negate the possibility of them being DNF'd.
Which basically means, folks, that they've got to do something rather than nothing. Not just saunter in the pit lane, hit the marks and go, right, see you later, lads, I'm off, and not have anything done to the...
Yes, Jake.
Well, yes, Jake, we know, buddy, we know. It was just unfortunate with what happened, but at least the thing is, it's been clarified now. But we go back to Sam Hayes, who's got Will Butsey trying to close in on him, and hopefully Butsey isn't zigging and zagging like his car looks like it tried to a few laps ago. Siglio just behind Butsey in 7th. Then we've got Chris McIntosh, who's still got the high beams on, and now he fires it through into Redgate. And here's a nice little onboard driver POV down through Hollywood and into the crane curves before we switch to the left front wing. And then now down into the braking zone, into the old hairpin. Carry the momentum through and keep the revs up. And then you've got to really hustle the car up through Starkey's Bridge and into Schwantz Curve before putting on the anchors a little bit here at McLean's. You've got to really sort of try and brake as much in a straight line as you can. And don't run too wide, as we just see Sam Hayes just do. And then it's into Coppice. Now, it's quite a deceptive double, right? Because you go on the curbing on the first one, but then you actually keep the car wide, but you don't go too far off to the left-hand side, as Sam Hayes nearly touched a wheel on the grass coming out of Coppice. Now into the Fogarty S's, now into the left, into the right, and then just floor it all the way down to the Melbourne hairpin, but then you're going to be braking in a straight line. Ooh. And there we go. Butsey is right on his case. He was flashing the headlights there. Butsey had a slight lock-up. Hayes goes to the outer line on the exit of Melbourne hairpin and then cuts across the circuit to cover off Will Butsey heading into Goddard's and a nice tight line, but Hayes is suffering with a little bit of oppo and manages to catch it, but that means that Butsey's got the better traction out of the corner.
Yeah, they're going to bump and grind all the way down into turn 1. It does look like Butsey's going to get through this time. Hayes is off in yonder, so he loses that position to Butsey and Siglio.
Yeah, he's got off yonder. That's what he's done.
Yeah, he's gone off in yonder somewhere. I don't know where he was going, but wherever he was going, I'm sure he'll be there by tomorrow morning, because at the moment he's come back on the racetrack and he's lost 2 positions here currently. Jack London out in front, doing a great job, dominating, running away with it. You know, not really a lot we could say about that, is there, to be blatantly honest?
Well, we haven't really concentrated on him that much, to be honest with you, in what has it been, the first 15 minutes of this 50-minute race. So it's just been a case of hitting his marks, not doing anything untoward, to put in an unforced error. And that can happen, folks, in the world of sim racing. I've seen it where someone has led by a country mile and with 2 laps to go has binned it and ended up at the barriers, and the car is completely wrecked and can't use a fast repair. So that's what Jack London's got to do. He's just got to, cross the T's, dot the I's, and do what he's just done there. I mean, he's taking wallop the curb going through Starkey's, and he's taking as much curb going through into Schwant's curve before we head into McLean's. But he lined it up quite nicely there.
Talking about people doing things all wrong. Did we see that last week in the 150 series? There was a driver who was miles out in front, but he got DNF'd, didn't he? Because obviously he messed up his pit stop. I don't know who that was.
No, I don't know who that was. Well, I thought we did see a car literally vacate the circuit and go into the paddock, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, and he was miles out in front, but he just couldn't. Obviously didn't do anything on a pit stop and just got it completely wrong, and then he ended up getting, I think it was a DQ, and then that was the end of it. Don't know who that was there.
No, but Will Butsey has got Maurizio Siglio for close company. The battle between them is about half a second as they go through the double right here at Coppice. I mean, it's a great circuit to challenge drivers because you've got a wonderful bit of technicality. You've got these fast-flowing opening corners from Redgate all the way down to Old Hairpin. Then you go up the hill, so it's like it's like Nemesis Old Powers. And, well, Butsy got it all wrong through the foggy S's, and Siglio just went, yep, thank you very much, I'll take 5th place.
Yeah, the question is can Siglio hold it? Oh, he's going to give him a little kiss. Steady. Butsy's going to be on the outside. Siglio's going to make it through. No, too deep. Done. Butsy got him.
Yeah, all it took was a well-timed switchback and a slight running deep by Siglio, and that was not just going into the Melbourne hairpin, but also coming out of Goddard's. And yeah, just Butsy was just like, "Yep, I'm having this," and just got the job done.
Whoa.
And Siglio has started to slow for some reason, and he's just lost out to Matt. Oh,
I think he spluttered before he went and stopped.
Oh, he's run out of fuel. Has he run out of fuel? That's the big thing. Unless there's an issue his side,
I'm going with an issue his side, Alex, because I think.
Oh no! Hayes has lost it.
Where you going,
coming out of McLean's.
Yeah, he managed to get it back. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened to Siglio there, but it did sound like when we went on board he was having a little bit of a cough and a splutter, and then unfortunately he had to pull over. So unfortunately for Siglio there, it had all gone a little bit wrong. Well, he's in pit lane, so we're going to find out. A couple of people are lap down at the moment. Tom Wolfe is 2 laps down. Miku a lap down. Robson, I said, is already DNF'd due to issues with game crashes. But at the moment, London out in front. And we're just waiting for the full pit stop to finish running through. Some of these guys have only got 20 minutes here as well.
Yeah, and we're about just under 6 minutes away from half time in this race, and we've got the onboard cockpit shot looking directly at the virtual recreation of Will Butsey there as he fires it through into Redgate, currently running in P4. Chris McIntosh in the meantime, now up into 5th ahead of Sam Hayes.
Kirk in pit lane.
And then, Justin Kirk, who was at one point running 5th, so he's decided to go for the earlier pit stop strategy. And now this is a real nice onboard we've got here with Sam Hayes through the old hairpin. Carry the momentum through, use a little bit of the runoff area, still with 2 wheels in track limits, and you can really straight line Starkeys going up the hill because it's pretty much nigh on a straight line coming out of the old hairpin, and that's a nice complex of corners. And Sam Hayes this time around has really got his smoothness of steering inputs really, really well down pat.
Yeah, he has at the moment, Jake. That must be costing Sam a bomb. He's going so far off the circuit, he had to pay his tickets to get back in.
Yeah, you haven't got any stamp on your hand, mate. You got to pay again.
Yeah, listen, you, Mr. Hewlett, right? Oh, you blinking commentator connoisseur, sitting at home eating your chorizo fancy pie cooked by your Gordon Ramsay. You got stashed in the cupboard. They might not.
You're not paying.
Yeah, you're not paying, by the way. You might know, these might all not be Jake Hewlett standards, but they're all having a go. And I think this is the bit. I think Jake would have given you a run for your money this week, but you chickened out, didn't you? You saw London was in the session, and that was it. You were like, oh, I can't go in now. I'm going to get battered. That's what I reckon.
Well, considering the fact that I think in comparison with Jake's time, I mean, Jack's was pretty quick as well, wasn't it? So... And who have we got? That is Mr. Rusek in the pit lane. And Jack continues onwards. He's making his way down to Goddard's once again. His lead now is nigh on 18.5 seconds as he neatly exits using the far right-hand side of the exit of Goddard's and across the stripe again. And, well, Kadavaev's now moved up to 9th. Rusek, I think, has just rejoined and is on course. The Robert Kubica superfan, we'll call him, because he got Robert's boat race on his door panels. But that just goes to show who his inspirational hero is in motorsport.
Why would you put a boat race on your car?
Oh, it was like when we you remember the 23 hours of solder we did for Jimmy Broadbent last year. We had people putting Jimmy's face on their car.
Game over
as well.
Yeah, Rusek now goes a lap down. There we go.
But the big question is, when does Jack decide to pit? And then you've got everyone else who hasn't pitted behind him. I mean, Jack hasn't pitted. Oh, Phillips just had a bit of a tank slapper coming out of Coppice. And managed to turn up Jonathan Palmer's wonderful grass. Was maintained.
I wonder what I would do if I was London now. Is run this window right, if I've got the fuel, right to the end. Waiting for Rougy to go in first. And then when Rougy goes in, I would then go in the following lap. That's what I would do. I wouldn't submit the lead. Somebody's off the side of the circuit there.
Was that Sam? No, it wasn't Sam Hayes. I definitely know it was a car that was. It might have been Miku M that possibly went off.
Yeah. Possibly on that one. Just getting used to the liveries that they've put in this week. Managed to get them onto the cars so we don't have white machines all week, which is all night, which is great. You don't want to know. It took me an absolute mission to put these on here. Alicia's claiming to be a glory supporter because all of a sudden she's now chased a Jack after Siglio went and disappeared. Mind you, he disappeared literally as Alicia wrote, "Go on, Siglio," and then he went off the side of the circuit.
To a hole.
Yeah, spluttered to a hole. So let's make sure we haven't got Alicia cheering for us at any particular points there. Oh, car facing the wrong way. That was Wolf. He's just jumped straight back into pit lane.
Oh dear.
So there we go. Go on, son. I reckon there's a lot more speed to be had at that chicane. Seeing other cars go through there, Alex, I reckon there's a lot more speed to have. I don't think these guys are taking the right line. I think if they opened up the entry and then they could almost straight line it out and use as much as the track on the left-hand side. Don't just come through and then kind of go through and then actually treat it like it. Oh, Kirk. Kirk's just got hit up the bottom there from Hyman. I reckon that they could do a lot more with that chicane. I think they're going in too tight, which is forcing it to actually be a left and right. When technically, if you open it up, you can run it straight and come right out the other side. That's what I say. Jack might tell me something completely different.
You could be right there. I'm just, I'm sure I can sense his ears burning at the moment. Now that you said that, but
so
both,
slow.
I've noticed. Oh no, the word spiffing has ended up in the YouTube chat.
I told you he's posh, didn't I? I bet you when he falls over, he says "oopsie daisy" as well.
Or whoops. Or whoopsie.
Whoopsie daisy, yeah. I did an oopsie daisy. Did you, Jake? Yeah. All right, mate. Hold on, son. I think it's still come from mummy.
Oh, God.
Right, watch. This is where I think you can do a lot more. Open it up. Open it up. Open it up. Now straight line it. Go. Use the exit. Use the exit. Almost. He was almost there.
He was just about there. He was just about there. But now
Oh, break. Oh my God, I literally thought Kurt was going to come and join us. We were very, very close. Oh, golly. Yeah, that's another one he probably uses. Golly. Mummy, I've dropped something on the floor today. Can you pick up my chorizo pie? I've had an oopsie.
Moving swiftly on, we've got about 14 minutes to go until the pit window closes, so we've got one going in. Oh, Mr. Kirk has ended up, he's mowing the grass at the minute.
Yeah, don't do that.
And, well, he's just lost out to Kadavayev, who's now closing in on Heyman with a big old rate of knots coming into Old Hairpin.
Oh, dearie me.
just done the washing up, and now she's cracked the whip. Is that the cat of nine tails?
Yeah. Do you know what? There was so many things coming out that I've seen recently on social media with Valentine's Day coming up. Now, I'm not going to repeat it. What I might just do, Alex, is WhatsApp it to you, because some of it is absolutely spliffingly hilarious. Oops, spliffingly. Jake, you're rubbing off on me. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. So
just get a pint of Somerset cider down you, James. You'll be all right.
Oh, mate, if only I drank, dude. I haven't drank for about 8 to 10 years now, I think it is.
Good man.
Mind you,
good man.
Jack Daniels does look good every time, every now and then. London's gap's back down to 2.3, but I think London's been in pit lane. That's why that gap has come. I don't think Rougy's been in pit lane yet, so I've got a funny feeling he has a pit stop coming. Butsy and McIntosh are running side by side at the moment. There is Butsy, there is McIntosh. So we'll see what goes on. Stolen my vocabulary. I know, Jake, you're rubbing off at me. I'm
gonna put in a good word. Instead of vocabulary, he's stolen your thesaurus.
Oh, McIntosh got
and
that
Alicia's got. And I knew it was going to be only a matter of time. Mr. Palmer will be mad about his grass. You're damn right about that, Alicia, because they'll be churning it up tonight.
Oh, yeah. These guys are really pushing these cars. They're running these cars sideways at the moment. Behind McIntosh we go. Take the curb. You can go faster than that, dude. You're too tight. Open it up. Open it up. Allow the car to drift out. And this is where he's got to do the same thing. Because if he doesn't do the same thing, he's got to open this. Open, to the right, to the right, to the right. Straight. Go. Push. No, don't turn. Okay. Near enough. Close enough.
Imagine James Parfitt as a driver coach. My godfathers, that would be hilarious. We'd have to have an onboard for that.
I'm still waiting for Chris McIntosh to contact me about my driving the car. You know what I mean? Come on, Chris. We sent some DMs, son. I saw you out there. That was right. See me in the car. Hey, imagine me trying to commentate from a real-life race car. I don't think people would be too best impressed, but it would be quite funny, to be blatantly honest with you.
They'd be saying, like, hang on, the pit crew can't get in touch with you because you're already pressing the button. And you'll be like, yeah, but I'm commentating, mate. I've got to tell them what's going on from my perspective. And they go, yeah, but you don't shut up. Well, that's what a commentator does, don't they? Yes.
Exactly. Imagine us on a real-life touring car. On any major real-life racing. Oh, dearie me. I'd probably be in the steward's room by the end of lap 1. Either that or they'll cut my mic, one of the two. There we go.
Probably the latter.
Probably the latter. I've got to be honest.
Well, Butsy and McIntosh are really starting to get their elbows out again, aren't they? As we've got just under 10.5 minutes until the pit stop window closes, and then just over 20 minutes until the checkered flag. Alicia says my ST150 looks like a barn find at the moment. Is it dusty and is it under a tarpaulin at the moment, Alicia, is the big question here.
Is it drivable? Can I drive it? I promise I won't make it any more dirty than what it already is. Maybe.
No, I mean, Chris has had the high beams on all race long, just to try and dazzle everyone in front of him. but when we get the front-facing shot, when we see his car, I keep on thinking, hang on, I've got like, when you see a specific amount of light shined at your eyes for a specific amount of time, you get that slight red slight spot,
and white spots trickling your face.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from the Will Butsey might have if he keeps on looking in his mirror and goes, oh, it's McIntosh again. Can you turn those bleeding lights off, son? I'm trying to race.
That's the thing, I think, with these as well. Like, I don't know, lights on drives me. You can open that up way too slow there, son. Open that up miles wider than what you did. I think that having lights on is just a little bit like, cheap. You know what I mean? If you got the speed, do it on a racetrack. You know what I mean? Don't flash them. No, don't do that. Not good.
No, because I mean, in a lot of GT3 racing in real life, the flashing of headlights during qualifying is permitted, but then flashing the lights over exubitantly.
That's easy for you to say.
I know.
Yeah, try that one again.
Night. Over exuberantly. when they're overzealous, let's say.
There you go. That makes it easier.
Overzealous. They're like they just got their finger on the trigger and go, yeah, I'm going to flash your lights at you again. I'm going to do it again, and then they stopped. They stopped it happening in GT3 racing through SRO at one point. They just went. Yeah. Butsy nearly had a code brown there and a clean up on aisle 3.
He nearly lost it. He did lose the inside line though. McIntosh got him. Butsy with a big old slide coming out of Melbourne. That allowed McIntosh to go out the inside. McIntosh now got it running into turn 1. Butsy's going to try that outside line. McIntosh to defend this. Run it in deep. Open up the steering. Open it up. Give him something to think about because he's got to have something to think about. If he doesn't have anything to think about, he is going to run you around the outside. They're going to go in through Craner. Now what they've got to do is you've got to get a run. Open, point, shoot. Go. And he's got to try and get that car rotated to get up the hill because if he doesn't challenge McIntosh is going to have this all his own way. But he's got to wait and see if McIntosh makes the same mistake he did.
Butsy just went into the back end of McIntosh.
Or do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, he literally just properly punted him from behind. McIntosh just about kept it together, and Butsy found himself on the grass as a direct correlation. And then found himself mowing grass with the front splitter. Mr. Palmer, his invoice will be sent to him, don't worry.
Yeah, all done and dusted. Caravea doing the same thing here. He's tucked in behind Kirk. Kirk sitting in 7th. As we did have Terry Parker. Let's go, Kirk! He's put in YouTube chat, and he's sitting in 7th place, is your man at the moment. Chasing down Caravea here. Or Caravea is chasing him down, sorry, and Kirk is chasing down Hyman. So, see how these guys get on that one. So there we go. 16 minutes to go, 6 minutes of the window.
Yeah, and we've still got 11 cars running on the circuit. So, rounded out by Tom Wolfe, who is now 4 laps down. And you've also got Mikio M, who's now 2 laps down. So, Mikio M and Tom Wolfe not having the great run here at Donington Park. Of course, round 3, 7 days from now, will mean that these cars will head to Spa, as Justin Kirk has a little bit of a wobble coming out of Redgate and going to Hollywood.
I think he's trying to not Hyman all of a sudden could give him driver tunnel vision here, because Hyman literally went off the side of the circuit. He's just had a big old slide on the run down through Craner and up through Old Hairpin. So what Kirk's really got to do is got to focus on closing the gap on him. Hyman, open it up too tight, go out left, wider left, and that would have given you a better exit. Hyman now has got to basically he's got to get Hyman. Hyman's making mistakes, but Kirk's not close enough to capitalise on him.
I think what he's also doing, this might be a little bit of strategy from Justin Kirk, just to hold fire a little bit, because if it's a big mistake from Hyman, he doesn't want to get taken out, but then you've got Karavayev not too far behind either, so these drivers are covered by, probably a couple of seconds at best between the 3 of them, but then you've got Butsy not too far up the road, neither is McIntosh, so the battle for 4th could really start intensifying. We've got 5 minutes to go until the pit window closes, and just a the drivers that might have the stream on at the moment and are watching, just heed this warning. If you haven't gotten into the pit lane, you haven't changed tyres, you haven't put in at least 1 litre of fuel, be very, very worried when the timer hits 10 minutes remaining until the checkered.
All 4 of them gone. Poof. Poof like Harry Potter up a chimney.
Puff the magic dragon.
Yeah, and that's all I can say. As long as they've done what they're supposed to do, all of these drivers should finish. That's the way it works. If you've done what you've been instructed, you should finish the race. If you don't do what's instructed, well, you could be in for a good old DNF.
Well, the way things are going at the moment here in terms of the championship, well, looking at it from this perspective, Chris McIntosh was leading the series when he came into this on 25 points. He finishes 4th, that will put him on 41, but then it will mean that Mitch Murray, who's currently running P3, will be level on points going into the halfway point of the season. So at the minute, McIntosh on 25, 4th place gives you 16 points, that's 41. Mitch Murray currently on 22 points, 3rd place nets 19 points, again 41 apiece. So we'll have 2 drivers tying the lead going out of the first third of the season.
Yeah, and that can only be good for everybody. That's what I say to that, because I think keeping a series alive going into the final few rounds is always going to be good, and I think that's what makes the difference here, is making sure this championship, this series is still alive going in, and people haven't gone and absolutely run away with it. Well, one of them's at home eating his chorizo pie, being whipped by Alicia, so he ain't going to be here for this week. So unfortunately for Jake, he's going to have to try and come back next week.
At Spa of all places, where if someone pulls away from pole position and gets the lead by a considerable margin after the opening 7 kilometres, then everyone else is going to be going, we've got to fight over the scraps. Ooh. As Butsy's had a moment, and that stumbled him down into 8th place. Yeah. Whoops.
Old hairpin. Mr. Butsy. Sorry, Alex. Old hairpin. I think he's had his own little dramas.
Yeah. So he's got just over 12 minutes to try and see if he can claw that back, but that's going to be a big old mountain to climb, considering the ascents here at Donington Park aren't that easy in some ways to try and gather time back, but you can try and make some time back going through Redgate, Hollywood, Craner, and into Old Hairpin. Alicia's just gone, I'm just gonna jump in his rig to show him how to pit. Oh, shots fired there.
Oh dear, Jake. You might as well get a pillow and a quilt, mate. Sofa's looking good.
Or the doghouse.
Yeah, either one. Either one. But it does sound like Mr. Hewlett won't be getting any chorizo pies tomorrow.
No, it was probably a one-off special.
Yeah, chicken nugget and chips for you, mate, from McDonald's tomorrow, mate. Other fast food supermarkets, super shop.
Other supermarket providers are available.
Yeah, other fast food providers are also available, by the way. I've just got to get that out there as a disclaimer that I'm not supporting anybody. We're not supported by McDonald's. We promote healthy eating. Go have KFC. It's got chicken.
That was, you're right, Jake. That was a low blow. I think we all felt it.
Yeah. Coming at ankle height, Jake. I just hope she's taller than you.
Steady.
What? My wife is declaring that she's 5'7". I swear to God, she is not 5'7". But every time she goes to the doctors, she's 5'7". Apparently, I don't even know how that one works out. Oh, somebody's in the wall over there.
Oh, that's Miku M that has gone barreling in. Oh dear.
He crashed at 62.95 kilometres an hour, apparently.
That's about just over 40 mph. Oh dear, that's something's possibly been rearranged on that Ginetta G55 as the pit window is closing within the next 15 seconds. So we'll see if there is a rate of attrition of DNFs popping up as to whether drivers have served their pit stops properly. Meantime, Jessica Hyman has now got Justin Kirk for close company coming out of Redgate and down into Hollywood. And yeah, Hyman had a bit of a wiggle, I think, trying to apply the power. Kirk's got to go for it and try and get the run up the hill here through Starkeys, through Schwantz. And if Hyman keeps on making slight unforced errors like that, you know, the back end was a little bit too much on the grass there on the left rear. And now Kirk has got the opportunity. I think maybe if he can tee it up nicely coming out of Coppice, go through the Foggy S's as fast as he dares, and then flies it down the inside at the Melbourne hairpin, then Hyman will have to watch his 6 very closely.
Yeah, definitely. I'd just like to point out Alicia's only 5'3". There we go. Oh, Hyman's made another mistake. Hyman made another mistake going into the chicane, into the fog of the S's. He's made another one as well. He's gonna race for the racing line here. There's gonna be a straight drag up into Goddard's, Alex. We've got Kirk on the left, Hyman on the right. Yep, bumping and grinding.
Swapping paint, but a good exit out of Goddard's by Kirk. And then straight away, Hyman has to cut across the nose of Kirk on the run down the start finish straight. Heading into Redgate and through goes Kirk. And he gets a tap from behind by Hayman, who's all over the shop. The back end fishtailing coming out of Redgate into Hollywood. And luckily enough, Hyman still keeps to within about 0.3 of a second. Miko M's had a crash at nearly 50 miles an hour this time, so Miko M not having a good run. Looks like Tim Wolf has also DNF'd. So whether Tim did not serve the pit stop as was mandated. But Hyman now trying to go through into Coppice. Kirk keeping it nice and tidy. Hyman's getting a bit of opposite lock, had to bit of left hand down to try and correct it, so the back end was I think starting to slide to the left into the Foggy S's. Once again they go,
missed it,
and Hyman's just outbraked himself completely.
Same mistake he did. Mistake he did. Question for us in YouTube chat: if Jack were listening to music right now, what do you think he'd be listening to?
I'm in heaven.
Life is a highway. I'm a ride it on my own.
The dulcet singing vocals of Mr. James Parfitt, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what I reckon he's singing. I reckon he's all on his own, just cruising.
Who knows? But he is 17.5 seconds ahead of Andrea Ruggi with Mitch Marie, currently in P3, and is quite a distance ahead of Chris McIntosh. So we've got 6 minutes and 50 still to go. And Karavayev closing in on Hyman as they're making their way down into the old hairpin. And, well, Karavayev could have just left.
Go on, go. Be brave. Oh, bro, you backed off a bit. You backed off.
Extreme. Flattery will get you everywhere with JP, Jake.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Hey, Jake, do you live near Santa Pod? Do you live up by that way? Wonder.
Well, we'll wait for the response in YouTube chat. But
yeah,
nevertheless,
I don't know if they have castles up by Santa Pod, though, do they?
No, I don't think they do.
No, but, so he might not live up there then.
No, who knows? But Karavayev is closing in on Hayman again. But yeah, could have been a little bit braver going into Starkey's Bridge and Schwantz Curve on the run into McLean's. But yeah, looked like Hayman got the better traction coming out of Melbourne. But then how brave is Karavayev on the brakes? Actually,
he was tidy.
He was very nice and clean on that. Cross the T's, dot the I's, and end your signature with a flourish, so to speak. But 5.5 minutes to go, and well, Hayman just decides, yeah, I'm going to throw it to the entrance of the pit lane, and then he loses it nearly coming out of Redgate. Oh, Mallory Park is extremely nearby. Okay.
That has nothing to do with Santa Pod, but thanks, Jake.
Yeah, well, at least he gave us some context on location, didn't he?
Yeah. Just on a quick Google.
Oh, dear.
Oh, it's only an hour and 15 minutes away. Hour and 15 minutes away.
That's probably like about 4 for me then, because I'm the other side of the bleeding country.
Mate, it's about 4 hours for me. It's about
Cool,
4 hours
yeah.
for me. But I'm up there. I've got a weekend up there. My son's taking part in his first drag bike weekend, junior drag bike weekend.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that the other day, weren't we?
Yeah, he's got a test on Friday, then competition Saturday, Sunday. In his little junior drag bikes, they go up to 86 miles an hour. His won't quite do that because he's on a starter's bike, so it'll only go up to about 65 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But 65 miles an hour at the age of 13 on 2 wheels kind of feels might be fast enough.
Yeah, this trio battling for 5th, 6th and 7th really heating up with just over 4 minutes to go. You got Kirk, Heyman and Kadavayev. Heyman's just lost it. Heyman just lost it, and he's tried to turn in to cover off Kadavayev. And Kadavayev, I think, just had to put the anchors on there because in some respects you can understand it.
You can't block him.
Oh no, that was not cricket. That was not cricket at all there from Heyman. Straight into the side of Kadavayev.
We can't block him, we'll just smack him off.
Wallop. And he's spun it around.
Yeah. Well, Hyman, I think you might have something to talk about after with a few of these guys on that one. That is just not cricket, yes. Governor. That is not cricket. So there we go.
Tried for a 4, he ended up with a 6 in that one, in that exchange. But yeah, Kadavayev lost a big amount of time. He's now 12 seconds behind him approximately. So not good for Alexander Kadavayev.
He's just been lapped as well.
Oh dear, insult to injury as Jack London now has, I think, I'm wondering if he's going to have one and then one more after this.
This is going to be really close to one. Yeah, he will have one and one more. You are right. Sorry, I was trying to do maths. Don't ask me that question.
But no, Jack's done a really solid job at the front end of the field, and this will help him quite significantly with regards to getting some points on the board for this season for the 150 Motorsport Ginetta Supercup Championship here at round 2. We head to Spa-Francorchamps next week for the halfway point. Then it's Nürburgring, if I remember correctly, the week after that.
Are you waiting for me to reassure you on that one?
No.
Oh, no,
I just
you are
looked at
right.
Grid Finder.
Yeah, and
then we got Brands GP and then Stetson 300, which is where we finished the 150 Motorsport ST150 series.
Yes, sir.
All those weeks ago. But yeah, 2 laps to go. And Jack London now has a lead of over nearly 19 seconds over Andrea Ruggi, who now I think has just crossed the line over the start-finish. But yeah, Jack just keeping it nice and clean at the moment and hasn't really put a foot wrong all night.
No, confirmed Siglio run out of fuel.
That's hence the spluttering and the...
Oh, Kadavayev.
Oh dear.
Don't want to be there, bro. Don't want to be there. London still out in front with Ruggi in second, Marie in third, McIntosh fourth. Kirk sitting down in 5th place. The Kirk now has got a bit of a free gap at the sheet going up to Hyman. Hyman's there, totaling about 3 seconds at the moment, 3 or 4 seconds. So a little bit of spread starting to get between the field at the moment.
Yeah. So Kirk making his way out of the Melbourne hairpin. There's Jessic Hyman. Kadavayev quite a long distance away now, about a minute and a half, well over a minute and a half behind the leader. He's a lap down now, effectively. So we've still got, and even though 2 wallops into the fencing for Miku in 10th place, Miku still kept it going and will pick up a handful of points. I think it'll be 2 points to add to the tally after this one. But final lap underway. Jack London with a 1 minute 30.847, the fastest lap of the race, as we're on to our 33rd and final lap. Sam Hayes, has gone off at nearly 70 miles an hour and has just had a big moment, and that was coming out of Melbourne hairpin. So Sam Hayes has insult to injury on that one, I'm afraid.
Yeah, he did recover, but he is down in 9th place. London on his way around the right-hander before he comes into Coppice, and then he's going to have a few more corners after that, 4 to be precise, to take his first win here.
Yeah, so Chris McIntosh took the opening win of the season last week at the home of British Motor Racing at Silverstone. But Jack London comes through in towards the Fogarty S's for the final time. Then Melbourne and Goddard's just to negotiate. It's been a flawless performance for this driver all night long. Put it on pole position and has not looked back. Had a pretty good gap after the opening lap, which was, I think, just nigh on a second. And his winning margin is going to be to the best part of nearly 23 seconds. Final corner, and Jack London turns it in. Neatly kisses the apex out of the final corner. McIntosh wins round one. It's 2 from 2 so far in the 150 Motorsport Ginetta Supercup Championship as Jack London takes the spoils of victory here at Donington Park Grand Prix. Andrea Ruggi will very shortly be making his way down into Goddard's, liking the livery on that one, where it's got the racing with the creativity. It looks very much Tron-esque, that design, as Ruggi comes out of the final corner and will now take second place. Mitch Marie goes level on points at the lead of the standings, taking a second last time out at Silverstone. Takes P3 here at Donington Park. And then Chris McIntosh, well, he's just coming through the Fogarty S's at the moment and will now make his way down towards Melbourne Hairpin. But after 2 rounds, we're going to have 2 drivers level on 41 points apiece as we make our first of 2 overseas trips. First to Spa-Francorchamps, then to the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit, and then we'll come back to Blighty with Brands Hatch GP and Snetterton 300 to round off the season. But McIntosh was a bit in the dramas, so to speak, but he's managed to make the best damage limitation possible by taking 4th. Then it's going to be Justin Kirk who comes across line to finish 5th, with Jacek Hyman rounding out the top 6 spots in that race. But, well, what can you say? Jack London lights out to checkered flag, takes the fastest lap with a lap to go, and also put it on pole at the same time.
Yeah, not a lot you can say about that. Not a lot you can say about that. Well done, Jack. Great job on that one. First time out and a win under his belt already.
Yeah, so really, folks, you got to wait another week for some Ginetta Super Cup Championship action here for 150 Motorsport on the JP Broadcasting Network. James, final thoughts before we sign off?
Well, I think this has been a good one. I think this has been a really good one. I'm a little bit worried about Spa. I have to be honest. I am a little bit worried about Spa. It's a lot of track with a car that don't go exceptionally fast. So are we going to get long pit lane times? Are we going to get big gaps? You know, because you could probably fit all of these cars round Spa with about 3, 4, 5 seconds in between each of them. So I'm a bit worried about that. But I think this racing here has been absolutely amazing. I'm looking forward to next week. And I think it's going to be, well, it'll either be really epic or it'll be an Alex and James podcast for 50 minutes.
Well, folks, on that note, we're going to close up the stream here. This has been a JP Broadcasting Network production. You've joined myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and James Parfitt. 2 different winners so far, Chris McIntosh at Silverstone and Jack London now at Donington Park, with McIntosh and Mitch Marie round level on points heading into round 3 at Spa-Francorchamps. Race hard, race fair, and if in doubt, well, you better go flat out. We'll see you next time. Good night and goodbye.
Cool.